the city of presidents, but Quincy is missing a big piece of its history.
I think people are surprised when they stop to think about this. During this historic year, it's Massachusetts' 250th, of course, the country's 250th. The long-awaited presidential library for President John Adams and his son, John Quincy Adams, is taking a big step forward to becoming reality. It happens here, Quincy, celebrating the 400th anniversary of its settlement this year, now focusing on its most historic and consequential family.
This is a family who's changed America and built America, and the fact that there isn't something already is shocking.
Shocking that Quincy, Massachusetts has produced not one, but two presidents of the United States. Our second, John Adams, and our sixth, his son, John Quincy Adams. But neither has a presidential library or monument in Washington, D.C.
It's a very significant time in Quincy's history.
Quincy City Councilor at Large Scott Campbell says what's been talked about for decades is officially in the works. The JFK Presidential Library and Museum has been such an enormous success. Is that an inspiration for what you'd like to see for the Adamses?
Of course, yeah, no, that's hugely important. I know the Adams family itself, they're involved, and they've been at every function, and they look at this as really, like I said, a capstone to their family's achievements.
People have the opportunity to go to Mount Vernon, to go to Monticello. There's so many other locations that are distinctive. The Adams deserve a place to be honored.
They are a significant family, not just one person. It's an entire family that I think has made a difference in this world.
And you're not forgetting the ladies. Right? Abigail and Louisa were just as important.
Abigail made sure that John knew that.
Adams sites are scattered all over Quincy, from birthplaces to the burial chapel. You might recognize Peace Field, the Adams home and farm, if you watched the HBO miniseries John Adams. The idea here is to take these separate Adams family locations in Quincy and form the Adams Presidential Center. The effort will be led by a man who knows a thing or two about how to run a presidential library.
It is unbelievable, really, to think that we're at this stage in our evolution as a nation, and we have yet to honor John and John Quincy in a very meaningful way.
Historian Dr. Kurt Graham, newly named president and CEO of the Adams Center, is former director of the Truman Presidential Library in Missouri.
This is not just simply something for Quincy or for Boston or for Massachusetts. This really is something of national importance.
It's the proud vision of a prestigious board.
It's really about a place where people can come and take inspiration from the Adams' story.
Democracy is not a spectator sport.
What's the time frame?
I would say let's do it right as opposed to do it quick. Let's make sure that we can afford it, make sure we have the right spot for it, and make sure it's complementing other things in the area.
With a focus on public service as the Adams lived it, Dr. Graham says it's just what our country needs.
We would not have the nation that we have but for the Adams family.
So you saw there speaking, General Joseph Dunford, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is from Quincy. So he is on the board. Go to the website, theadamspresidentialcenter.org. You can donate there. You can get involved. But it is interesting. Dr. Graham oversaw a $30 million renovation of the Truman Library. So he knows what it takes.
Sure. And you were saying they could make their own Freedom Trail in Quincy and connect it to Boston. And so lots of great opportunities.
You could leave the Freedom Trail in Boston, hop on the Red Line, and go on the Adams Trail. And what a great development it would be, especially this year.
Absolutely.
Very historic.